Cars are lined up, ready for race 2 in the assembly area of the Future Classics. Joining him on track again is the Irish Ford Fiesta Z-Tech Championship. The man who won is Adrian Dunn, all the way back down the grid in his very quick Saxo. Can he do it again? He's got a long way to go. This man again is on the pole position, Timothy Duggan in the Seat Ibiza. Like we saw in the first race, quick on the straights, not too good in the corners. So, is it still going to be exciting? Here's Andy McEwen with the race.
Thank you very much, Anthony. Yes, here is how the grid lines up then, with Tim Duggan and Daniel Byrne on row 1, Ger Byrne and Aidan Byrne and next, then Anthony Kelly and Ken Byrne, who we didn't see much of in race 1, ahead of Trevor Kinsella and David Hammond. Then we have the next row of the grid, Adrian Dunn and Paul Flanagan, Gary Duggan and Gilbert Clancy, ahead of Stephen Martin and MJ Farrell, Jimmy Kilbride and David Owens next in line. Then the Fiestas, Oren O'Neill ahead of Ricky Hull, Conor Mulholland and Malcolm McEwen, then Craig Brown, Elliot Hayes and Stephen Walker at the back of the grid. So, getting ready to go racing then as the field lines up on the grid with a bit of a jumbled order across all 3 classes, so there should be lots of entertainment over the course of the next 15 minutes or so. The lights go out, the field rushes down towards turn number 1. Now we saw the Seat Ibiza of Tim Duggan didn't get a great start in race 1, he dropped down from 1st to 3rd. This time around though, he holds the race lead, but look at this sea of cars behind him trying to find a way through, dropping down in towards the braking zone at Colonial. Everybody safely through the first corner. The Fiesta's coming through a bit further back. Looks as though that might possibly be Malcolm McEwen, who's got himself to the front of that group. We're on board with Anthony Kelly though in 3rd position, chasing down the top 2. That's Ger Byrne, I think, in front of us in 2nd in the BMW, chasing down the Seat Ibiza of Tim Duggan in the race lead. Down towards the right left at the Crossley chicane and back along the back straight. And now we start to see which cars have the advantage in a straight line. Fairly evenly matched so far. The Seat, as Anthony was saying, does excel in a straight line, but maybe struggles a little bit when it gets to some of the twisty stuff. Hard on the brakes, they're about to go there in towards the hairpin. See there, the cars behind capable of braking much later, and at the inside we are going, and that was a real attempt at fighting a way through. There's drama there though for the Citroen Saxo, unfortunately, of Adrian Dunn, who runs way wide and drops down the order. So Adrian Dunn out on the grass down at the hairpin at the end of the opening lap, and that is not good news for the man who was first to see the checkered flag in race number 1. Battle for the race lead though, down towards the Colonial corner for the second time of asking, and 3 cars as close as you like them at the head of the field. Then we've got the Future Classics coming through a bit further behind, and there you can see the number 20 car of Gary Duggan appears to have got himself to the head of that group of cars. Pole sitter Paul Flanagan has dropped down a little way in the pink Fiat Punto. There is Adrian Dunn trying to fight his way back through. He's looking to the inside, in fact, now of Gary Duggan's Fiat Punto. And the Citroen Saxo running in Super Future Classics should have the advantage, and indeed it does. Through it goes. And, they make their way now down towards the John Crossley chicane once again, and again the number 20 Fiat Punto does not look all that happy through the corners, it has to be said. Fiat Uno of David Hammond will get alongside now down the back straight on the run towards the hairpin. You can see the Mitsubishi FTO there of Gilbert Clancy, who we didn't see much of again in race 1. He's bringing up the rear of the Future Classics field. And Adrian Dunn now starts to pick them off again. He's up alongside that was Paul Flanagan. That was one of the Super Future Classics cars. That was Trevor Kinsella's Fiat Punto. Lots of Fiat Puntos in the field though, of course. Side-by-side action across the line right the way down the order. But at front of the field, we have had a change, because down from 2nd to 4th place has gone Ger Byrne, so he's lost quite a bit of ground there on that particular lap. Here are the Future Classics. Oh, and drama. 2 cars going around. Unfortunately, the 16 Fiat Punto is one of them, and that is Stephen Martin, and he tangled with Jimmy Kilbride's Peugeot 106, and also way off the road there was Trevor Kinsella. So lots going on down at Colonial that time around. Not entirely sure why or what caused all of that. There was contact somewhere, and I certainly don't understand why Trevor Kinsella was off. I think that might have been a separate incident or a separate problem that he'd run into. That has rather split the pack now in the Future Classics element of the race. leaders, though, down at the far end of the circuit. We can see we've had a change of the lead, so into the race lead now has gone Anthony Kelly in the Honda Civic. It's all kicking off for second place, though, as Tim Duggan tries to fight back, and then you've got Gerburn up alongside one of the Toyota Celica's. That was Ken Byrne, I think, in 4th position. We're on board with our new race leader, Anthony Kelly, as he turns in towards Debtor's Dip for the first time, and the Honda Civic is into the lead of the race. Can he now pull away, I wonder, or is Tim Duggan going to be able to fight back? Through Colonial we go, still in the lead in the Civic. It's the part of the circuit that is likely to suit the Civic a little bit more than it will suit maybe the very potent in a straight line Seat Ibiza. There is the Ibiza, still ahead of Gerburn. So these are now 2nd and 3rd places. And then 4th place is indeed Ken Byrne in the number 8 Toyota, who gets a decent exit from the corner. Then the other Toyota Celica in behind of Aidan Byrne is the number 82 machine. So back down the straight again, having negotiated safely the John Crossley chicane, and this is where the Seat might be able to come on strong again. And they're all being caught, look, by the Citroen Saxo of Adrian Dunn, who goes to the outside line into the hairpin, locks up though, he's on the grass, and he's got to be careful how he rejoins it. Oh, really gives that that access road a clatter. In fact, sorry, beg your pardon, that one, no, that was the Ibiza, I beg your pardon, similar looking cars, but that was Tim Duggan who ran wide. So Tim Duggan, yes, they had been being caught by Adrian Dunn, but Adrian now appears to have gone missing, so that's what confused me. I saw him going into the corner, but he didn't come out the other side, and instead we had the moment for Tim Duggan. So Tim Duggan, who had been leading the Super Future Classics not that long ago, has now dropped down into 5th position and has it all to do again. The leaders, though, are side by side up at the top of the straight there at Fisherman's. There, though, is Tim Duggan, erstwhile race leader, chasing down now Aidan Byrne in the number 82 Toyota Corolla. With the much bigger rear wing and front splitter, giving him a bit of extra downforce, but maybe hurting it in a straight line slightly. And the Ibiza, we know he's quick in a straight line, so Tim Duggan in theory should be able to fight back here as he goes down the straight. He'll look to the inside, unlikely in a way that there's going to be a gap left there, so he's probably going to have to go the long way round, which indeed he does. In the front of the field, we've got Gerburn attacking the race lead as well, but this is Aidan Byrne fending off just about Tim Duggan, but Tim Duggan tries to get the exit from the corner of the inside line. No, can't do it, so Toyota stays ahead of Seat. Back with Anthony Kelly now as we rush down towards Debtor's Dip, and up the inside goes Gerburn, so another lead change, and the BMW this time goes through. One of those races that no one seems to want to lead. Every time someone gets to the front, they never seem to spend more than a lap or so there before losing the lead again, and that is our 3rd different leader now in the first half of the race. Can Byrne now hang on, or will someone else, probably one of the other Byrnes, come through to challenge him? Maybe, of course, though. Anthony Kelly, who was only the 5th fastest qualifier. Maybe possible that he can come through to challenge as well. Here's this Tim Duggan and Aidan Byrne squabble. It's still going on for 4th place, but they've started to drop back a bit further now from the leaders as they head out of the chicane. Meanwhile, the Fiestas are still putting on a great show, as always they do, and they're side by side for the lead. That is Malcolm McEwen going to the outside line, and on the inside line was Conor Mulholland, with Oren O'Neill moving through to 2nd place as a result of that little kerfuffle. So into 2nd position goes the purple car of Oren O'Neill, and she will now head off after the class leader. Oren O'Neill, remember, looking to try and take the championship lead away from Mark Stewart this weekend, and she went some way towards doing that with her 2nd place in race 1, but another race victory in this race would put her in front, but 2nd place may not do. In fact, no, 2nd place would, I think 3rd place wouldn't quite be enough for her to take the championship lead, with Mark Stewart, of course, not here this weekend, not scoring any points. And the back straight they will go. Novice cross on a few of the cars out there as well, meaning that their drivers are reasonably new to racing. And Oren O'Neill there defending the inside line from Malcolm McEwen, who tries to find a way through. Car rocks on the suspension, has a couple of stabs at getting it into the corner, and then on the exit of the corner, can't quite fully get alongside. So down towards Debtor's Dip they will run once again. This very, very quick left-hander, which is taken flat out fairly easily in these 1.2 litre Ford Fiesta Z-Techs. And Oren O'Neill now in the difficult position of trying to defend second place whilst also trying to attack for the race lead through Colonial. Back up towards Fisherman, but these three getting ever closer together. I do sense that a move is imminent here. Oren O'Neill has now caught Conor Mulholland. Can she find a way through? Looking for the run out of Fisherman's. Can't do it there, but it's all really about the exit from the next sequence of corners at the John Crossley chicane. Hammer the curb on the right. Hammer it even more on the left, but she doesn't really get a great exit, so Malcolm McEwen will be in the slipstream going down the back straight and will possibly be looking to try and attack for second position, actually, rather than allowing Oren to attack for the lead. Down towards the hairpin they're about to go. They appear in sight as three flashes of colour. And again, McEwen it is who will get the better exit from the corner and might actually be able to get alongside Oren O'Neill this time, but it's going to be to the outside line down towards turn one, so I'm not convinced that he's going to be able to make that one stick. They are not quite overlapping as they cross the start-finish line, so Oren O'Neill hanging on and getting right onto terms now with the race leader as well. Right, Fiat Punto battle going on here. This is in the Future Classics, and this is Gary Duggan and Paul Flanagan. Gary Duggan holding on to the position for the time being. This is for the class lead as they make their way out of the John Crossley chicane. You've got the Toyota 11 of MJ Farrell closing in, and the recovering Peugeot of Jimmy Kilbride after that spectacular spin that he had down at Colonial early on in the race. So they're about to make it a four-way fight for the leading class, and they're going to be almost three abreast as they head down towards the hairpin. Defending the inside line there in second place was Paul Flanagan, whilst also trying to attack Gary Duggan for the class lead. Out of the turn they go. Back along the start-finish line. Now that Toyota, you would imagine, would be a little bit quicker in a straight line potentially with the 1.6 engine than certainly the 1.4 engine Fiat Punto of Paul Flanagan, but Gary Duggan's car does have the 1.8 litre engine in, but is not the most aerodynamic of cars, and indeed it has now lost that or Paul Flanagan, I should say, has lost second place. Gary Duggan, oh, well, he had lost second place, I assure you, but then he dives back up the inside into Colonial, so Fiat back ahead of Toyota for second, and that's all just allowing Gary Duggan to pull away slightly. They're also being joined very much by Jimmy Kilbride now in the 106 Peugeot that seems to have survived its tangle down at Colonials earlier on with minimal damage. No visible damage really on the car. Just a fairly harmless spin onto the grass, and has been able to rejoin and not actually lose that much time because it was early in the race. Everyone was bunched up together anyway. And it's actually very nearly a five-way fight because Gilbert Clancy in the Mitsubishi FTO is there with them. Now that car is the quickest in a straight line of all of these cars with its 2-litre engine, looking to the inside line into the hairpin. Here comes the Toyota, of MJ Farrell up the inside, takes second place away again from Paul Flanagan now. And this time looks as though he will keep it as he rushes across the line, chases down now Gary Duggan in the class lead, but these are 5 cars all fighting for the class victory. Spectacular racing we're being treated to here at Kirkistown, a circuit that does naturally lend itself to close racing with all of the long straights and the slipstreaming opportunities that they present, but also a decent amount of technically challenging corners such as this section here through Colonial and Fisherman, where you've got to thread the eye of the needle and then turn into this tricky right-hander down at Fisherman's that goes on and on forever. Toyota 11 with a good exit from the corner, but nowhere to go with it really. It's all going to be about the run down the back straight again, and here comes Jimmy Kilbride. Can't really go around the outside there, Jimmy, though. He settles back in line, but spectacular racing. Similarly, in the Fiestas, who are being lapped now by our overall race leaders. So the lead is still being held by the Toyota. We're on board with, by the BMW, of Gare Byrne. This is second place, Anthony Kelly. And going around the outside of Oren O'Neill, who is now, by the looks of it, leading in the Fiesta class. So we've had changes all over the place here. We've dared to take our eyes away from the lead Fiesta battle, and we should have known something was going to change. But Anthony Kelly does get through, puts a lap on the leading Fiesta contenders, and now turns his attention to defence to try and keep behind him the Toyota Celica of Ken Byrne, who is around here somewhere. Down the back straight, hard onto the brakes they will go. And the Toyota nowhere in sight just yet, so the Honda Civic looks like has held onto the position for the time being. Here are the Fiestas just behind them, and it's all changed again. Oren O'Neill's back down to third place. It was Malcolm Mulholland who was leading. but it's now going to be the 14 car of Ricky Hulls. Seriously, the 76 even of Malcolm McEwen. So 3 different leaders in as many corners there. They're also being lapped by the Seat Ibiza there of Tim Duggan. So it's all going on for the Fiesta drivers at the moment as they make their way back through turn 1, Debtors Dip. And also closing in now, we've got the other Toyota Celica, that of Aidan Byrne, who looks at the inside of Warren O'Neill, and that nearly went wrong. Almost a bit of contact between the two of them, if not a tiny bit of paint traded. Warren O'Neill did well to survive that, but the inside of her now comes a very, very audacious manoeuvre from Conor Mulholland, but he takes second place away again, and now latches immediately onto the rear bumper of Malcolm McEwen, the race leader, in one of the most brightly liveried cars on the grid. Certainly won't miss that one in a crowd of Fiestas, will you? And what a crowd of Fiestas we've got here. 3 of them fighting for the race lead as they make their way back along the back straight towards the hairpin. The race leader, though, is going on to his final lap of the race, and Ger Byrne it is who is leading the way from Anthony Kelly in second position. And as they head through turn number 1, Anthony Kelly, can he do anything about him? Can he find a way through into the race lead? He's certainly closed in over recent laps. Back down in towards Fisherman's they will go. Ger Byrne it is who, it would appear, is on course for a race victory, despite the fact that Anthony Kelly has closed in quite significantly here over the closing stages. And out of the John Crossley chicane they go again, down the back straight, behind the pits and paddock, and towards the hairpin at the end of another lap. And the Honda Civic is closing in here though as they go down towards the final turn, and he's going to have a big go under braking. Can he get there? Not quite on the way into the corner. What about the exit speeds? They're both a bit wayward, but no, it's going to be Ger Byrne who comes out of the final corner to take the victory in the second Super Future Classics race of the weekend here at Kirkistown. A great win for him. Second place goes the way of Anthony Kelly, and third place across the line for Ken Byrne in the Toyota Celica. Then we have David Hammond, who will come home next, I believe, in fourth place. Here is confirmation of the result for the Super Future Classic element of the race. And in the Future Classics, it was equally close with that 5-way fight for the class lead. You can see the result there. Fantastic racing all around. And then in the Fiestas, another battle that went right down to the wire, and very, very little separating Warren O'Neill and Conor Mulholland at the front.
Warren,
yeah.
Second race win this year. It was a fantastic performance, very clean as well.
It was.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It was a race to the line. It was exciting. I enjoyed that one.
You've got to keep focused all the way as well, especially in this heat. It's got to be difficult and looking in your mirrors at the same time.
It's very warm out there. Yeah.
Talk us through the car. How much prep have you put into this?
Well, I've got Peter and Donal who help me out a lot at home, so yeah, they do the good part of it.
So they give you a perfectly balanced car. You go out, race it, and win races. Well done.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Conor, you're looking very relaxed. Is nothing like that out on there, though, was
Definitely not relaxed. No, it was very intense, but very enjoyable. That's what it was.
Getting warmer and warmer as the day goes on. How's that affecting the car and the tyres?
To be honest, it didn't really affect too much out there. Going through Colonial and Fisherman's were quite slippy, but other than that, the car was good, very good.
And it's a well-earned second place. Go and enjoy it. Well done.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Malcolm, a very busy race. Fourth in the first race. Third here. You've got to be delighted.
Yep, over the moon. Over the moon.
Talk us through it. It wasn't that easy. You went into first place for a little while, dropped back, but these guys around you are very quick, aren't they?
Oh, very, very quick. What I like about the whole series is that the cars are that close. It's down to your braking. There's no speed involved. Like everybody's just
bravery as well.
The brains off them, and that's it. Bravery is right. You must go into chicane thinking you're going to roll, or you're not driving fast enough. And it's the old cat among the pigeons.
Good man. We'll go and enjoy it. Well done.
All right. Thanks very much. Cheers. Thanks very much.